eventually you realize that the people around you no longer fit the person you are becoming. You still love them. You still remember what they meant to you, but something has shifted. The conversations feel smaller. The room feels tighter, and you don't know why. Here's the truth. Growth is not free. Every time you become more than you were, you create distance between yourself and the people who knew the old version of you. That distance is not a betrayal. It is a byproduct. But almost nobody prepares you for it, so when it comes, you mistake it for something wrong with you. You think you're being arrogant. You think you're being ungrateful. You wonder if you've become the kind of person who thinks they're better than everyone else. And so you shrink back down to keep the peace, to stay comfortable, to belong. Today, I want to talk about 7 signs that you have outgrown the people around you. Not to make you feel superior, not to give you permission to abandon everyone you know, but so that you can recognize what's happening. Because you cannot navigate a thing you refuse to name. These are quiet signs, subtle ones. You've probably felt several of them already and pushed them down. You've probably told yourself you were imagining it, but you weren't. And the sooner you understand what these signs mean, the sooner you can decide what to do about them. Now, before we get into the list, you have to understand something about how people work. Human beings organize themselves into levels, not levels of worth, levels of thinking, of ambition, of what they believe is possible. And most people spend their entire lives at the level they were handed. They inherit the beliefs of the people around them, and they never question them, because questioning them would mean standing apart. Listen, the people around you are not neutral, they are a temperature. And you tend to settle at the temperature of the room you spend the most time in. You see, if you spend all your hours with people who believe life is something that happens to them, you will begin to believe it too. If you spend your hours with people who complain, you will become a complainer. If you spend your hours with people who dream small, your dreams will shrink to fit. This is not weakness. It is human nature. We are built to belong. We are built to match the group. And for most of history, matching the group was how you survived. But the same instinct that kept our ancestors alive can keep you trapped at a level you were meant to leave. And here's what makes it so difficult. The people at your current level will not celebrate you for leaving it. They can't. Your growth is a mirror, and the mirror shows them something they'd rather not see about themselves. So they'll pull, sometimes gently, sometimes not. They'll tell you you've changed. They'll say it like an accusation. They'll remind you where you came from. They'll make jokes at your expense. And all of it is designed, without them even realizing it, to bring you back down to where they are. So if you have been feeling a strange discomfort around people you've known for years, and you can't explain it, and it's been growing, you are not imagining it. You are not being ungrateful. You are growing, and growth always disturbs the water around it. The signs I'm about to give you are the water being disturbed. Learn to read them. Because the people who read these signs correctly and act on them wisely go on to build lives they could never have built if they'd stayed. And the people who ignore them stay exactly where they always were. You must take this seriously. The company you keep is quietly shaping the ceiling of your life. Read the signs, then decide with clear eyes what you're going to do about them. The first sign. You've started hiding your good news. Something wonderful happens in your life. A win, an opportunity, a piece of progress you worked hard for, and your first instinct is not to share it with the people closest to you. Your first instinct is to keep quiet. Because you've learned somewhere along the way that your good news doesn't land the way it should. It gets met with silence, or a quick change of subject, or a comment that takes just a little bit of the shine off. Here's the truth. The people who have truly grown alongside you will celebrate your wins as if they were their own. They won't compete with your good news. They won't measure it against their own lives. They will simply be glad for you. But the people you've outgrown will feel something else entirely when you succeed. They'll feel your progress as their own falling behind. And so they cannot give you the full, clean joy that real friends give. You'll tell them about the promotion, and they'll ask if it means longer hours. You'll tell them about the weight you've lost, and they'll warn you not to get obsessive. You'll tell them about the thing you're building, and they'll go quiet, or they'll find the one flaw in it, or they'll change the subject to something about themselves. And you'll walk away from that conversation feeling smaller than you did before you shared. So the next time something good happens, you'll hesitate. And the time after that, you'll stay quiet. Until eventually you're living a whole life you don't share with the people who are supposed to be closest to you. I once knew a young woman who had started a small business. It was doing well, better than she'd ever expected. And she told me that she felt lonelier the more it succeeded, because there was no one in her old circle she could tell without feeling like she had to apologize for it. She had learned to shrink her wins into something small and unthreatening before she spoke them out loud. And she didn't even realize she was doing it until she noticed she'd stopped mentioning the business at all. That is the sign. When you find yourself editing your own life down, softening your victories, hiding the very things you're most proud of, so that the people around you don't feel bad, you have outgrown that room. Your joy has become something you have to manage instead of something you can share. And a life where you cannot celebrate your own progress out loud in front of the people you love is a life that will eventually feel unbearably lonely. Pay attention to who you hide your good news from. That silence is telling you something. The second sign. The conversations have started to feel like reruns. You sit down with people you've known for years, and you already know exactly how the conversation is going to go. The same complaints, the same stories, the same opinions you've heard 100 times before. Nothing new is being built. Nothing is being questioned. No one is wondering out loud about anything. The conversation is a loop, and you've walked its circumference so many times, you could do it in your sleep. Here's the truth. Conversation is one of the clearest measures of whether a relationship is still alive or whether it's just repeating itself out of habit. Living relationships generate new thoughts. Dead ones recycle old ones. And when you've grown past the people around you, their conversations stop feeding you. They stop stretching you. You leave feeling drained instead of filled because you gave energy and got nothing back that you didn't already have. You'll notice you're the only one asking questions. You'll notice you're the only one bringing up an idea, a book, a possibility, a plan, and it lands flat every time. So you stop bringing them up. You match the level of the conversation because it's easier than dragging it upward all by yourself. And every time you do that, you feel a little more like you're playing a role, reading lines from a script you wrote years ago for a version of you that no longer exists. You see, the people who are still growing want to talk about where they're going. The people who have stopped growing only want to talk about what already happened and about who did them wrong and about the same handful of grievances they've been carrying for a decade. There's nothing evil about it. It's just a different level. But you cannot spend all your hours in conversations that only look backward and expect to keep moving forward. The mind moves in the direction the conversation points it. And if every conversation points backward, that's the direction you'll drift. That is the sign. When you can predict every conversation before it happens, when nothing new ever enters the room, when you leave feeling emptied instead of filled, you have outgrown that table. It doesn't mean those people are bad. It means the conversation has run out of frontier. And a mind that wants to grow needs conversations that still have frontier in them, that still surprise you, that still push you somewhere you haven't been. The third sign, your ambitions have started to embarrass them. You mention a goal, something big, something that stretches you, and instead of curiosity, you get a warning. Instead of, how are you going to do that? You get, don't get ahead of yourself. They tell you to be realistic. They tell you not to get your hopes up. They remind you of everyone who tried something similar and failed. And they do it with a tone that suggests they're protecting you, when really they're protecting themselves from what your ambition implies about their own choices. Here's the truth. Your ambition holds up a mirror to the people who have none. When you reach for something bigger, you are implicitly saying that bigger is possible. And for the person who long ago decided bigger wasn't possible, that's an uncomfortable message to receive. So they push back, not on the specifics of your plan, on the very idea that you should want more than what everyone settled for. They call it realism. It isn't realism. It's the sound of a ceiling defending itself. You'll say you want to change careers, and they'll list the reasons it won't work. You'll say you want to move somewhere new, and they'll ask why you can't just be happy where you are. You'll say you want to build something, and they'll tell you about the security you'd be giving up. And every one of these responses is dressed up as concern. But underneath the concern is a quiet plea. Don't leave the level we're all standing on. If you go up there, what does that say about the rest of us who stayed? You see, the people who have outgrown their own limits will meet your ambition with excitement. They'll want to know the plan. They'll ask how they can help. They'll believe you can do it because they've done hard things themselves and they know it's possible. But the people you've outgrown will meet your ambition with worry and doubt and a subtle campaign to talk you back down into a size they're comfortable with. And if you listen to them long enough, you will talk yourself out of the very thing you were built to do. That is the sign. When your dreams make the people around you uncomfortable, when your ambition gets treated like a problem to be managed rather than a fire to be fed, you have outgrown that circle. Your job is not to shrink your ambition to fit their comfort. Your job is to find the people who won't need you to, because ambition, surrounded by people who fear it, slowly dies. And ambition, surrounded by people who share it, catches like wildfire. The fourth sign, you've become the one everyone leans on, and no one ever pours back into you. Somewhere along the way, you became the strong one, the one with answers, the one people call when things fall apart, the one who holds everyone else together. And at first, it felt good to be needed like that. But now you've noticed that it only goes one direction. You give and give and give, and when you're the one who's struggling, there's no one at your level to lean on in return. Here's the truth. Relationships are supposed to be an exchange, not a perfectly even one. Nobody keeps a ledger in a real friendship. But over time, healthy relationships flow both ways. You hold them, and they hold you. You lift them, and they lift you. But when you've outgrown the people around you, you'll often find that the flow has become one-directional. You've grown into someone with more to give, more perspective, more stability, more resources. And so you've become a source they draw from, but there's nothing flowing back. You'll notice that every conversation eventually turns to their problems. You'll notice that when you have a problem, the room goes quiet, or the subject shifts, or you get advice that shows they haven't grown enough to understand what you're facing. And you'll start to feel a strange kind of exhaustion. The exhaustion of always being the giver, of being surrounded by people and still feeling like there's no one who can actually carry any of your weight. That is a particular kind of loneliness, and it's one of the surest signs of all. I once knew a man who was the anchor of his entire family and his entire group of friends. Everyone came to him. He solved everyone's problems. He lent the money, gave the advice, showed up in the middle of the night when someone needed him. And when his own life fell apart one year, he told me he looked around at all these people he'd carried, and he realized not one of them was capable of carrying him, not because they didn't love him, but because he had grown into someone they simply couldn't lift. That is the sign. When you are always the strong one, always the source, always the giver, and there is no one in the room who can pour back into you, you have outgrown that group. You need peers, not dependents. You need people who are climbing too, so that when you fall, there are hands at your altitude to catch you. Being the strongest person in the room feels like a compliment. But if you are always the strongest person in the room, you are in the wrong room, because you will never be stretched, never be caught, never be pulled higher by anyone. You'll only ever be pulled on. The fifth sign, their problems have started to look like choices to you. This one is uncomfortable, and I want you to hear it carefully because it's easy to misunderstand. There was a time when you saw the struggles of the people around you as simply their bad luck, life happening to them. But now, having grown, you can see the patterns. You can see the choices underneath the struggles. And it's changed how you feel when they complain. You see, growth changes your eyes. When you learn to take responsibility for your own life, you begin to see responsibility everywhere. You start to notice that most of what people call bad luck is actually a chain of decisions repeated over years. And once you've seen that in your own life, you cannot unsee it in the lives of others. You watch someone complain about the same problem for the 5th year running, and you can see clearly that they are choosing it every single day and refusing every path out. This creates a painful gap because they want sympathy, and you no longer have the same kind to give, not because you've become cold, but because you've learned that endless sympathy for a self-inflicted problem doesn't help anyone. It just funds the problem. So you sit there while they complain, and part of you wants to say what you can see so clearly. And you know that if you say it, they'll hear it as an attack. So you say nothing. And a wall goes up quietly that wasn't there before. You are no longer speaking the same language about how life works. You see, when you're all at the same level, you all agree on the story. Life is unfair. The world is against us. Nobody understands. That shared story is a kind of glue. It holds the group together. But when you grow, you stop believing the story. You start to see your own hand in your own outcomes. And the moment you stop believing the shared story of victimhood, you become a foreigner in your own group. You still speak the words, but you no longer believe them, and they can feel that. That is the sign. When you can see the choices underneath everyone's complaints, and you no longer believe the story of helplessness that the group tells itself, and you have to bite your tongue to keep the peace, you have outgrown that mindset. Now understand this carefully. This is not permission to become arrogant. It is not permission to lecture people who didn't ask for it. But it is a sign, an honest one, that you now see the world differently than the people around you. And two people who see the world that differently cannot walk the same road forever. The sixth sign, you feel guilty for wanting more, and they are the reason. This is one of the most subtle signs and one of the most important because it works on you from the inside. You catch yourself apologizing for your progress, downplaying what you've built, feeling a strange shame about wanting a bigger life. And when you trace that guilt back to its source, it doesn't come from inside you. It comes from the people around you and how they make you feel for reaching. Here's the truth. Guilt is one of the most powerful tools a group has for keeping its members in place. Nobody has to say anything cruel. They just have to make you feel in 1,000 small ways that wanting more is a kind of betrayal of where you came from. And so you start to feel that if you rise too high, you're abandoning them. You start to feel that your success is somehow an insult to their lack of it. And you slow yourself down on purpose without even realizing that's what you're doing to avoid the guilt. You'll turn down opportunities because taking them would mean pulling further ahead of the people you love. You'll stay in situations too long because leaving would feel like leaving them behind. You'll hold yourself at a level that feels loyal, even though it's slowly draining something in you. This is the trap of loyalty misunderstood. You've convinced yourself that staying small is a form of love, that keeping yourself down at their level proves you haven't forgotten them. But it doesn't help them at all. It just wastes you. You see, you cannot lift anyone by staying down in the hole with them. The person who climbs out is the only one who can throw a rope back down. But guilt convinces you that climbing out is the selfish thing, that staying in the hole together is the loving thing. That is a lie. And it is one of the most expensive lies you can believe. Because a life spent staying small to make other people comfortable is a life that helps absolutely no one, least of all, you. And least of all, the people you were trying to protect. That is the sign. When you feel guilty for wanting more, and the guilt traces back to the people around you, and you find yourself dimming your own light so as not to make them feel their own darkness, you have outgrown that dynamic. Your growth is not a betrayal. Your ambition is not an insult. Rising is not abandonment. And the moment you stop letting guilt run your decisions, you will discover how much of your life you've been holding back out of a loyalty that was only ever hurting everyone involved. The seventh sign. You can already see the ending, and it doesn't include you. This is the last and the heaviest of the signs, and it's the one that finally makes everything clear. When you look at the people around you and imagine where their lives are heading, 5 years out, 10 years out, you can see it. And when you honestly ask yourself whether you want to be standing there with them at that destination, the answer that comes back is no. Here's the truth. You're always heading somewhere. Every person is on a road, and the road has a direction, and the direction is set by the choices they make day after day. You can read where a person is going by watching what they do repeatedly. And when you've grown, you gain the ability to see those roads clearly. You look at the people around you, and you can see with painful accuracy the destination their choices are carrying them toward. For some of them, you look and you think, yes, I want to be there at that place with that person in 10 years. Those are your people. Hold on to them with everything you have. They are rarer than you know. But for others, you look at where their road leads, and something in you recoils. Not from them as human beings, but from the destination. You do not want to end up where they're heading, and you realize that to keep walking beside them is to walk toward a place you've already decided you don't want to go. That recognition is one of the loneliest feelings a person can have. I once knew a young man who realized in his late 20s that if he kept spending his time with the friends he'd had since school, his life in 10 years would look exactly like theirs. And he loved those friends, but he did not want their future. He told me it was the hardest thing he ever understood about himself, because it meant that loving someone and choosing to walk beside them are not the same thing. You can love a person deeply and still know you cannot follow them where they're going. That is the sign, and it's the one that forces a decision. When you can see the destination of the people around you, and you know in your bones that you don't want to arrive there, you have outgrown that path. You do not have to hate them. You do not have to cut them off in some dramatic way. But you do have to be honest with yourself about the direction of your own life and about who you're allowing to set that direction by sheer proximity. Because the people you walk beside are the people whose destination you drift toward. So here is what I want you to carry with you. 7 signs that you've outgrown the people around you. None of them mean those people are bad. None of them give you the right to look down on anyone. But all of them are telling you something true about the direction of your life. You've started hiding your good news. The conversations feel like reruns. Your ambitions embarrass them. You're always the one who gives and never the one who's poured into. Their problems look like choices now. You feel guilty for wanting more. And you can see the ending, and it doesn't include you. Every one of those signs is the water being disturbed by your own growth. And the question is not whether you've grown. If you're feeling these things, you already have. The question is what you're going to do about it. Because most people, when they feel these signs, do the wrong thing. They shrink back down. They talk themselves out of it. They tell themselves it's arrogant to want more, and they settle back into the room they'd already outgrown, and they stay there small for the rest of their lives. I'm telling you, this does not mean you abandon everyone you love. It does not mean you become cold or superior or cruel. Growth handled with contempt is not growth at all. It's just a new kind of smallness. But it does mean you have to be honest. It means you have to stop pretending you don't feel what you feel. And it means you have to start being deliberate about who gets the most of your hours, because your hours are the raw material your future is built from. You must understand that outgrowing people is not a failure of loyalty. It is the natural result of becoming more than you were. A tree does not apologize for growing taller than the ones planted beside it. It simply reaches for the light it was made to reach for. And some relationships will grow with you. Those are the treasures. Water them, protect them, never take them for granted. Some relationships will change shape, becoming something quieter and more distant, but still real. And some will simply fall away, and you have to let them without bitterness. All 3 of those outcomes are part of a life well lived. So look honestly at the people around you, not with judgment, with clarity. Ask yourself, which of them light you up and which of them wear you down? Ask which of them are still climbing and which have decided to stop. Ask which of their destinations you actually want to share. Then, gently and deliberately, begin to give more of your hours to the ones who are rising and less to the ones who only pull. You don't have to make announcements. You don't have to burn anything down. You just have to steer quietly toward the light. The version of you in 5 years who had the courage to read these signs honestly and act on them is going to be living a life the current version of you can barely imagine. Not because you left people behind, but because you finally stopped letting proximity decide your destination. Read the signs. Honor the people who grew with you. Release the ones who couldn't without resentment. And keep climbing toward the light you were made to reach for. You must trust that the people who are truly meant to be in your life will be waiting for you higher up the mountain, because that's exactly where the ones worth keeping have always been headed to.